gentlemen, Punt Pals where the game begins. Betting on sports with our expert spins. From football fields to courtside drills. Punt Pals Podcast, we pay the bills. Punt Pals, no hidden play. Join us now every sports day. Tips and picks that never fail. Punt Pals Podcast, set yourself.
Ah, yes, we are back. The old opener that we know and love is back in the mix as well. We shortened it up there for a while and we were mucking around with all different sorts of way of doing the pod. But in the end, the old trusty works best. So how good is it to have the song back, Nico?
Yeah, it's been great to be back in the studio the last couple of weeks, mate. The song, all the little audio grabs, mate. It just sounds a bit more professional, doesn't it?
It sounds more professional and it just feels better. So it's great that we are back in the studio having a good old time. Welcome everybody to the plod. I don't know what that was. I think I just had a conniption. Went to say plod, went pod. Yeah, jump on our socials, all that sort of stuff. Stream us where you find us and, mate, get around us. How are you tracking?
Good, mate. Yeah, the podcast is building this year. The numbers have been pretty good and the ship's been pretty good too. So if we continue on that run, mate, we'll be building nicely, I reckon, as we move into the proper part of the AFL season, right?
We will be. It's the Nick Ristovic factor, I reckon. He's here and he's kicking goals and he's tipping winners and all of a sudden we got a lot of listeners. So that's pretty nice, mate.
I'll take it, mate. We've got all the bases covered at the moment. Bit of F1 stuff in there, bit of AFL gear, all the racing gear. So we've got most of those bases covered and it probably helps to cover all those different things, mate, because people love different sports, don't they?
Yeah, and I think you're right. Picking a few winners always helps as well, which we are managing to do. So what do we got on the pod today, mate? Give us the rundown.
Mate, we've got an absolute cracker today. Of course, got the listener questions, which just keep getting bigger and bigger each week, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So it's hard to sift through those and, you know, there's a few unlucky omissions that we could have probably tackled today, but they're going to be huge. We've got the hero of the week, which you've done some hard work on. Great man.
I always work hard, you
Got
know.
a few trusters, don't trust us in the AFL. We're going to talk about bet reviews, and then we're going to get into that chunky $100 to $1,000 challenge, which we've got some pretty good little story from the weekend to talk about, mate. And of course, a shitload of banter along the way.
I'm feeling the pressure, the 100 to 1,000, because you won first week, and that means I've got to back this up. You've taken us to 200. I got to take us to 4.
208 to be specific, mate.
Okay. All right,
so
mate.
you're going to take
over
us
there.
to 416.
416. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
no pressure, big fella.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure there, but that's okay. That's fine. I ate pressure for breakfast, my friend.
Pressure makes diamonds, mate.
That's right. Weekend first up. What'd you get up to?
Mate, more of the same, really, for me. Still in the house renos train. So took the big trailer again, scooped a shitload of rock into it, took it to the tip, dumped it off, which took me about 3 hours in the sun with a shovel. And then on Sunday, which is probably quite cool, went to the new Quokka slide park. I'm not sure if you've seen that being promoted.
I've seen it, haven't been it.
Well, I just encourage you to maybe wait a little longer, mate, because we went there on the weekend. It was mental. Went down the nieces and nephews and my son Van, and, mate, they all got crook. Went into the indoor pool, which was a little bit warm. It was a bit chilly out there on a Sunday arvo.
Oh.
And, mate, yeah, they all had the spew bug and spent the preceding 3 nights waking up at all hours of the night to Van. So
Life of having kids, eh?
I
They
think
get
so,
bugs,
mate,
they get sick.
Yeah, you wrap them in cotton wool at home, but you've got to let them unleash them occasionally, and that's what happens, mate. They get a little bit crook and throws the whole week out of kilter. So that was
probably
probably
you get sick as well.
Yeah, I'll get sick, don't get any sleep, and takes a bit of a toll on the household. But that was pretty cool, mate. And then probably the downer was just watching the Cats get beaten and knocked out of the semi-finals, and then Freo lost as well. So it was a bit shizer in that sense.
That's a bit tough, sir.
Yeah. What about you, dude? What'd you get up
I
to?
went to the Wildcats game, actually. So met a buddy at Sir Henry's in Northbridge. We had a couple of pints there. We had a few Guinness because it was a St. Paddy's Day celebration. Went to the Wildcats after that. Then went back to Sir Henry's and indulged in a few more Guinnesses. So that was my Saturday night.
Sunk the sorrows of the Wildcats loss with a few splitting the G attempts, spurts, mate.
Pretty much. Do you know what? I wasn't even that sad because I had a few pints beforehand and I was in a very good mood. So I was just like, whatever, I'll
There's a
worry
game
about
on.
this tomorrow. Yeah.
What's going on
Didn't
here?
see much of the game. Was up and down to the bar and the pisser for ages.
Well, they were good, weren't they, for a good half? But
They were excellent, yeah.
They just ran out of gas, really, didn't they, in the end?
Well, it was even Stevens up until 3/4 time. And then, Sydney Kings were just a little bit too good. So that's a pity. But Sunday was a lot quieter. I just chilled at home and relaxed. Bit of beach time yesterday as well. So, it's all going on, Nick.
Yeah,
The life of having no kids.
bit of beach time.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's lovely, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, still bloody hot in Perth over here. For those listening on the East Coast, we're having
Boiling.
35-degree days here, and we're in late March.
I would have loved to have gone to the beach today, actually, but we had notes to write for the podcast.
Yeah, we did, mate. Of course, we get them done well in advance, i.e. on the day.
Exactly.
So that's what we're here for. But it was a pretty good weekend all around, mate. I can't complain.
It was a really good weekend, and it's primed us for a good week of betting, I reckon, as well, because we did sit there watching all the footy games, and we've placed our bets for this week, which we're going to get into a little bit later. But first, I think we better do some listener questions. Do you want to kick us off today?
Few crackers, as I said, they are getting bigger than banter. We're getting a lot of questions coming through, but we have to cherry pick the ones we think that will be the most entertaining. I think so. That's the criteria for today.
Yep.
And Sam from Querriting, regional town,
good
obviously
town.
getting out to the regions, which is great. Now he obviously knows you do a lot of interviews, Robbie. So I'm really keen to hear this answer as well. Who is the most interesting person you've ever interviewed?
Oh.
And who's been the hardest to interview? Sammy.
Oh, good one. Good one. Hardest to interview. I'm going to come back to that. I need to just have a quick think and see if anyone really stands out. What I will say, actually, do you know what? I'm going to do the hardest now. I'm not going to actually name the name. You can read between the lines on this one, I think. He's a now Aussie comedian, used to be American. And he is just, I don't know, there's something about comedians, especially when they get to a certain level, that they're just not very good radio interviews. I don't know what it is, like, because you expect them to be funny, but they don't really want to be funny because they're saving it for the show. They don't feel like they have to. It's a weird mix in the middle. Like the really big ones are elite. They're amazing. They're just easy.
Yep.
But then that next level down, they are not great interviews. And then the next level down, the guys that are really trying to build up, great again.
So you just didn't get much out of this person?
It's a common theme with comedians of that sort of level, I would say.
Yep.
And yeah, so one, I don't know if you could pick it up from his Californian originally.
Yes, mate. Yep. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Been on a New Zealand show. That's all I'll say.
Yep.
Another one is a Melbourne guy. He likes a swing of golf. And he is a fan of the Pies.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah, so just a bit of tough chemistry. They're trying to extract anything out of them.
Blood
Didn't
out
wanna-
of us.
Didn't want to be there.
Nah, didn't want to be there. They're not that interested, and it's a tough one. So I think that pretty much ticks that off.
And then maybe, in terms of most interesting, mate, just narrow it down. Maybe the most famous person you've ever interviewed, potentially?
Oh, yeah, it's a bit of a hard one because we do a lot of interviews, actually. I think if I was going to say the biggest international, probably the top three biggest, Mike Shinoda from Lincoln Park. That was
That's
a big
massive.
one.
That's massive.
Rob Thomas.
Yeah. Yep.
Chad Kroger.
I feel like Rob Thomas is fairly recent.
Recent,
Last
yeah.
year.
About 6 months ago.
Yeah, okay.
Lily Allen.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
So you brush
Chad
shoulders.
Kroger, Nickelback.
You do brush shoulders with some fairly
Yeah.
high quality people, mate.
There's some
don't
good ones. Prime Minister.
you? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those poly fans out there.
Yeah, one of my favourites was Justin Langer, Nick, because it was very early on in my radio career, and he seemed way more interested in talking to me than, like, I was very interested in him, but he always kept turning it back onto me. He was a very engaging,
cool.
charismatic guy. So Langer, if you get the chance, have a chat with him.
Lovely, mate.
Beautiful.
Mike Shinoda from Lincoln Park. They're one of my all-time favourite bands, so I would have been all around that.
It was only about a year after Chester died as well. It was a time.
Wow, man.
It was a time.
And they're sitting here having a podcast with me, so
Mate, how lucky do you want to be? It's a charmed life.
you could say it's a fall from grace, or you could say, the quality continues to decline. But anyway, we are where we are, mate. The second one, Dave from Bunteen, which is a town where my mum grew up, actually.
Really?
Another wheat belt town in the regions of WA.
All the regions coming out in force.
Yeah, mate, we're everywhere, aren't we?
Yes,
digitally?
we are.
This is a good one for you, and it might dig out a bit of PTSD from round one, but your thoughts on Essendon's first hit out. What did you like? What didn't you like?
Why would you go there?
Had to.
Why would you go there?
Yeah. Well, we're going to touch on the round in review on today's potty, so this is your segue into talking about what happened, mate.
Oh, look, there wasn't a lot to like from Essendon's performance on the weekend. First quarter was awesome. They were super competitive against the Hawks. It was a bit of a shootout, but very quickly it went downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Andy McGrath, good in his first game of skipper. Zach Merritt, obviously great. He's slotted back into that team. No dramas. I liked El Hass as well.
Yeah.
El Hassan, he was very good. Showed a little bit of promise. So there was a few good individual performances, but I don't know. I'm not feeling overly confident as an Essendon supporter. I can tell you that much.
No, well, he came off the O round where he didn't play. And a lot of teams got beaten up in round one that didn't play in the opening round. And I think Hawks are a pretty good side. So,
well, they did make the prelim last year.
I mean, I wasn't surprised with the result, but at the same time, I think Essendon's defence for mine, letting the Hawks pile on 145 points is probably where the deficiencies might be, mate, defensively.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's our actual back line. I think it's more when they come through the middle. There was just no defence, so it just left our actual backmen exposed.
Yeah, they do like to link up through the middle of their Hawks, though, move the ball at pace, so you wouldn't be the first team to get found out.
Well, Essendon only like running one way, I've found out as well. And it ain't back.
No, Archie Roberts, mate. Thursday had a multi. You and I were riding it out. It was a good little story. What do you have, 13 at three-quarter time, needed him for 20, and yeah, I think he got the soccer off the ground into his hands in the last second of the game to get the multi up.
That was good, wasn't it?
That was a good little story.
Jai Caldwell cooked me. But yeah, and you were very stressed on the text, I will say.
I
was,
mate. I was trying to build a balance, so that was cool. But
you were very happy at the end there.
It'd be better for the game, surely, mate.
It'd be, yeah, hopefully. All right, your questions. Lisa from Joondalup. So the Wildcats, they bowed out of the finals on Saturday night. Very sad stuff. What are they actually missing in order to take the next step in 26-27?
Well, quickly to unpack it, Lisa, we only lost to the Kings by a point in Sydney.
Yeah, that was good.
The informed team in the league, the top of the ladder.
That was very good.
So we weren't far off. But what I would say, and it's probably the most obvious answer, is our lack of point guard.
Yeah.
Dedicated point guard that can handle the ball, bring it up the court, just continue to burn us. Obviously, we had John Riley Jr., who is the coach's son. He was quite good, filling in the void. We had Duke Jr. We sacked a couple of imports earlier in the year. Mason Jones. So we haven't quite got it right, and obviously you leave a massive void when Bryce Cotton steps out of the team as the point guard, 5-time NBL MVP.
Well, it felt like a complete rebuild.
It did,
for that
mate.
list.
It did, and that's and unlike football, when you have 5 players on a court and one guy's running all the plays and he steps out, you lose the whole nucleus of your team.
It was good from Best Shed's Christian Doolittle, though. He had a great year. He really stepped up.
He did, and he was having to run the point in the end during parts because as probably a 3 or 4 man. So a lot of players playing out of position. What I would say is we turned the ball a lot over in the half court, Robbie.
Yeah.
So teams knew they could apply the full court press. The point guard struggled. We had a lot of turnovers in the half court. Sydney exploited that. So most teams did, and that's where we lost. But we're not far away. I think if we can probably retain Duke Jr., I think he's got a lot more promise than he showed this year with injury, and get another dedicated point guard. Jaron really steps into that spot as the guy coming off the bench to run the point. I think we'll be much better next year.
The interesting thing about NBL lists, though, they seem to turn over a lot. So who knows how many of those players stay at the Wildcats?
Well, that's right, yeah, and we've seen that in many, many teams. A lot of guys looking towards going back to the NBA, and a lot of guys who will get big offers in Europe. So I think the Wildcats are fairly set. I think just that import spot at the point guard's the one they need to focus on to help their bigs like JLA, who was dominant through the semi-final series, mate.
Beautiful. Tony from Ascot is your next question. Now, interesting, because he's just a little bit of a neighbour there to what he's asking about. He must live right near the track. What are the confirmed runners for the Quokka so far? Of course, that's in just a few weeks' time now. Who's shaping up as a good bet so far?
I've had a few questions about this, to be honest. And obviously, it's hard to comment on the field because it's not fully complete yet. So I can only go by who's confirmed so far.
What is it, a field of 10, 15, 10, 12?
10 usually.
Yep.
And only 4 have been named so far.
Yeah, okay, there's a bit to go then.
So to work through them, Talk & Co. was a horse that went around in Bunbury when I was down there as a short price pop, $2.80, didn't win. Loomed, probably had some excuses. Luana Miss, obviously the tap slot. She's got an enormous amount of talent, but I think a younger horse, so a bit of a watch there. Cabalas obviously looked pretty strong. We talked about it extensively last week, so I'm not going to talk too much about this horse again, but I think it fits the right profile.
Yeah.
Bjorn Baker, front runner, a few question marks of whether it handles the track here at Ascot. Not proven.
And of course, beat Tintinus.
Exactly.
Tentaris the other week, which is a good win.
It did indeed, mate. Very good racing knowledge from you. And then Ray Magnerio, of course, the Group 1 winner from the Pinnacles, comes back.
Love it.
Happy hunting ground. Is proven at the track and at the distance. So Cabalas and Ray Magnier are the two for me, but plenty more to be announced following this weekend's racing, and there's about 8 Group 1s on the East Coast. So I think we'll know a lot more come Monday as to who's coming over.
Does it look like it'll be mostly locals, or there'll be a lot more come over?
There'll be a couple
East?
more interstaters. There's a
Yep.
couple of nominated, which I can't reveal, obviously, today. But
behind-the-scenes knowledge.
yeah, well, we don't really the
You
inside.
sure you don't want to leak it?
Don't need insider trading kind of.
You sure?
Inquiries, do we?
You sure?
No, we can't, mate. No, can't. Got to keep my powder dry.
You positive?
Also
We'll talk later.
Well, I'm heading over to Ascot to work full time soon anyway, so I don't want to burn that bridge before I get there.
Yeah, it's fair call.
So that's obviously the Quokka, the BYD Quokka, which comes up in mid-April. Tickets are available. Get down there, mate. We did last year. Absolutely loved it. Great race day, isn't it?
Yep, it's a sensational race day. Tickets, please. We'll be going, and we'll be getting around the Quokka once again.
And the beers.
That goes without saying. Maybe we'll drink the Quokka beers, so we just tick both off in one hit.
Yeah, represent the brand. Love it, mate.
Love that.
I can be your hero, baby. Don't be a hero, mate. Heroes of the week.
Or do. Be a hero if you can.
Absolutely.
Man, we've got a couple this week. There's actually one that I've just made it a late inclusion, which I'll tell you about in a sec. Sam Kerr first up, though. Goals against North Korea and China in the Asian Pacific Cup over the last couple of weeks. She has been massive. The team beat China last night.
Last night. Over here in WA.
Yeah, my days are like melding into one, actually. So this is Wednesday, the 18th, about 4 o'clock or whatever. It was last night. Beat China. They go on to play the winner of South Korea and Japan in the final.
What an eruption of applause after she scored that goal, the hometown hero, too.
Wasn't it amazing?
Like, hero of the week. I don't reckon I've heard Optus that loud with about 23,000, I think, that were there. It was enormous, and it's come off a pretty long layoff last year too, right?
Huge. Pretty much 2 years off.
Just
really.
carried the team straight back into it.
Wasn't it great?
Unbelievable.
And that applause was like when you get a multi up.
Yeah,
The crowd
it
goes
was a bit-
wild.
It was a bit, mate, yeah. Slightly less loud maybe than my multis, but yeah.
Yeah, I would say your multis are louder. Let's be honest. Next up, Scott Pendlebury. Now, the reason I wanted to put him in, because that clean skin guy has just kept his record. So 427 games now. Initially, he got suspended on the weekend. He got cited by the tribunal. They gave him a week. He's got off thanks to his exemplary record. And I think it's a $3,000 fine. So Scotty Pendlebury won't have to delay his record-breaking game.
Well done, Scotty.
Well done, Scotty.
Crazy he's still going so strongly. Still such an important part of their side, really, isn't he?
He really is, and such a gun. So good on you, Scotty Pendlebury. That's great. I've got one more for you, mate, and I've just remembered that I needed to put this in. I've been sending you videos of this guy for the last couple of weeks, and I think you keep ignoring me, to be honest. But I don't know if you want to give the Jump Out King the credit he deserves. He's a Kiwi tipster. I've been following his tips.
He's on fire, isn't he?
He is on fire.
Yeah.
Mate, he's just bang, 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 bang.
Well, I've been replying to your posts when you're sharing them with me because, mate, I'm trying to get on his tips. I've got time, mate. He's on fire. He's been picking multis. You're not the first man to send it to me either, so clearly he's doing the rounds.
He's doing the rounds. He's got like 10,000 followers now or something, and he just smashes it. And even when he doesn't pick the winner, he does go each way, and I've got a couple of place bets in there as well that saved me. So.
Good Kiwi too, you know.
Kiwi.
And let's be honest, Robbie, he's probably not what you would say the usual sort of stereotypical in front of camera sort of style, is he? He just seems like a real form analyst that knows his shit.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think he sits there in his lounge room in his little cave all day.
He does. I think
And
you
he
need to
just
coach
learns-
him a bit, mate.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be who you are.
Well, you
And
do.
Jump Out
but
King is Jump Out King.
a bit of excitement out of the Jump Out King, wouldn't you, Dad? His livery's a little bit flat.
Do you really want to see him different, though?
Nah,
I love him.
Stay authentic.
I love him
Jump
as
Out
he
King.
is.
We'll have to just give him a bit of a shout out, Jump Out King, on the Instagram, won't we, mate?
Certainly.
Give him a retweet or a reshare or something.
Certainly. Let's do that for his next bets. He does Saturday and Sundays, and sometimes he pulls out a Friday as well.
Oh, stop it.
Actually, I'll have a look in a minute. He might have a big week bet.
Long weekend, man.
Ooh, yeah. Jump Out King on the Terps. That'd be good on a long weekend. All right, let's look at our betting review from last week, because there was mixed results. There was a few positives in this, but there was also a couple of negatives. So let's start off with Nico's Freo Multi.
Yeah, look, I'll face the firing squad first, mate. Look, the Freo multi was pretty much symptomatic of Freo's game, really. First half, 75 points.
Yeah.
The highest score they've held on in a half for 10 odd years, I reckon.
It was their best first quarter ever.
There you go.
Is that right?
Something like that. I think under Justin Longmuir, definitely. I don't
It was
know.
right up there if it wasn't the best ever.
It was electrifying, mate. They moved the
Yeah.
ball fast. I could talk about it all day, but back to the multi. I thought Murphy Reid would have 21 plus. He had 19.
Ooh,
It was just a weird mix, man. They all fired early, and then the second half they just went nowhere. Brayshaw had 13 posies.
yeah. What was
His
going
worst
on there?
game in 6 years.
Are they not running him through the midfield enough?
Well, no, they're not. I'll talk about it later in the don't trust us for that reason. So
Okay.
Murphy Reid had 19, needing for 21. Freo lost, obviously, which was the big glaring issue with that multi. And then Jordan Clark had him for 20 plus. He's a banker. Missed 20 plus for the first time in 15 games.
He never misses. Never misses.
So I think, bit of a mixed bag there. Tough punting round one when it came to same game multis, and probably need to have a little bit more of a look at them, mate.
Yeah. No good there. No good there. I had a near miss as well, and this was a super multi. So I did throw this out to you last week, and I had good reasoning. I thought the GWS Western Bulldogs game was the best betting round the best betting game for the round, because both teams just have high possession games. All their midfielders always get high possessions. And I was pretty right, except for one glaring little mistake. So I had Clayton Oliver 25 plus, tick. Aaron Norton 2 goals plus, Matthew Kennedy 20 plus, Finn Callahan 25 plus, Lockie Whitfield 25 plus. All ticking these off, mate. These were all good.
Oh.
Tom Liberatore 20 plus, Tim English 15 plus, Bailey Williams 15 plus, and then I had Ed Richards in there.
Oh, my.
For 20 plus.
Oh, my. 19?
He had 19.
Oh.
But the worst part about it was that he spent the last 11 minutes of the game on the bench. 11 minutes. I don't even think he was injured. I think they were just saving him.
See that guy that I send you all the time that just rips into the guys that he doesn't trust anymore in the punt? He went after Ed Richards massively. He was saying beverages on the take from the sports betting companies. But it was bizarre, wasn't it?
It was bizarre. That had to be Bevo's fault. I don't think we can blame Ed for that. I'm going to give him a reprieve. That would have been a $9.25 multi, by the way.
But didn't they get blown out, GWS, though?
Yeah, what the hell?
Like, that doesn't help. If the game's in the balance, surely Ed Richard plays minutes that last quarter.
You would think so.
So that's a lesson for the punt, isn't it, mate?
I thought as well that the GWS were really overpriced going into the game, but
So did
it's
I.
clear they weren't.
I think the Dogs are just that good, mate.
Yeah, they were really good.
What I saw from the Dogs on the weekend was frightening. I gave your man Aaron Norton an absolute bake last week on the podcast. He
Yeah, I
kicked
know.
6.
Mate, and I've got a stat for you around a bit later too.
You kept your receipts, have you?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting a bake from you as well.
Look forward to it.
So, yeah, it was a pretty good effort by you, though, mate.
Close.
Pretty good areas.
Yeah, but it wasn't a win, was it?
Yeah.
When it comes down, you can be close, you can be near, but if you don't win, then
One
don't
leg
worry
fail,
about
bet
it.
return.
I didn't. I had a bet boost on it.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
do too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just chase the price, don't you?
Yes, you do. In the F1s, I had a few pretty good bets, man. So I had Russell to win. He didn't quite get it done. He came second. Not bad.
Yep.
Arvid Lindblad, I had him for best of the rest. He ended up coming 11th. Our man Ollie Behrman actually came 5th in the end.
You
so he had a
spooked him too.
really good race. Yeah, the week before I spooked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week I thought Arvid for the Racing Bulls would get it done. Wasn't to be.
Well,
That's all right.
that's a bit of an each way, isn't it? You put two guys out there and the other guy won. So
Exactly,
it's all right.
exactly. But it wasn't all bad news, man. I had two really good legs. So
Yep.
when I say legs, this wasn't a multi. This was just like bets. Antonelli, top 3. That was paying $1.70. He won, so we got $1.70 for that. Not
Yep.
bad.
Pretty good.
Ferrari to be leading first lap. Now, I did say, pending a good qualifying result, they qualified well. They qualified third, Lewis Hamilton. And boy, oh boy, did he go hard. He was leading after the second or third corner, and he didn't qualify first, but he led the first
Yeah,
lap.
nice. Are we paying a bit then?
It was about 270.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Round of applause, Santa Fe.
Thank you
surely,
very
Judy,
much.
there,
Thank
isn't
you
it, mate?
very much. we're going to go the correct sound effect. But, man, I was so proud of that. Watch it again in Japan in a week and a half.
Absolutely. Well, mate, you have been doing the blog posts for the Grand Prix previews, and they are starting to get a lot of popularity, mate. So
I hope so.
you're building a niche, I think, mate.
A niche. I like it. I actually did another video for Tab Touch today on the F1s if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I'll be on it.
Now, finally, this is the most important one. And, Nico, you were in charge here.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, those who haven't listened to the podcast yet this year, we're doing $100 to $1,000 challenge.
Yeah.
And then we're thinking already beyond that to get 1,000 to 10,000. So there's a lot of pressure week one. I tipped Gold Coast to win by 51.5 plus points at $1.43, and then the Dogs head-to-head against the Giants. Well, the Dogs, mate, they're out of the kennel early, and they put the Giants to bed pretty early on, so that was an easy watch. Turned it off at half-time. Just keeping an eye on the bet tracker. And then Gold Coast, 51.5 points. I was sweating, to be honest.
They did make you work for it.
Well, they just benched a lot of their starters and just sort of put the queue in the rack. So
I feel
West
like they put the
Coast-
queue in the rack after quarter time.
It felt that way, didn't it? Yeah, it was like a 40-point lead, and then I thought they just went through the motions after that. So West Coast kicked a couple late, and then typical West Coast fashion, they switched off for the last 5 minutes, and then Gold Coast kicked 3, and then it was an easy watch. So
Yeah.
$204 from the 100 to kick things off, and a good start.
Really good start. Well done, mate. The pressure's on me this week. I've got a couple of bets for you to do our 200 to 400 this week. I'll run through them at the end of the pod, though.
I'm looking forward to this, mate.
Yeah.
And then to end on a sour note, racing was just an absolute shit show on the weekend, to be honest.
I didn't pay much attention because of all the footy going on, but give us a quick rundown.
Oh, mate, very quickly.
Different gravy to get up?
Had an absolute shocker, really. I haven't tipped this poorly in a long time. Different gravy didn't feature at all.
Oh, what?
In the end, pulled up lame. Buckaroo got thumped in to about $2.40. We got him at $3 in the podcast earlier in the week. Pulled up with cardiac arrhythmia.
Ooh.
So maybe has to go past the fitness test to race again.
Oh, so it could be done forever
Well,
for
definitely
Buckaroo.
might be put the queue on the rack for this preparation if
Sad.
you can't get through the necessary tests. So that was disappointing. Then Savvy Halley, as I said, came around the corner about 3 in front, and I thought, we're on here.
Yeah.
Just got gunned down the last 50 metres and completely missed the placings.
Damn.
So generally speaking, it was a pretty shite day for most punters, so I'm not feeling too raw dogged.
Yep.
But there were rough results galore, and obviously those horses I followed, pretty disappointing, really, to be honest.
Damn. So it was a bad week on the punt for the horsies.
Wasn't good on the horses, mate. Should have stuck to the footy.
Damn. Okay. All right. Speaking of which, let's move on to the footy right now because round one was back. We had a full card and it was great to watch, but we move on to round two. Of course, it's not a full card. It's not a full round. We've got, I think, 4 teams with buys, so we've only got a 7-game round.
Staggered, mate.
Hate it.
Not happy with it.
Like, we're starting a season. Everyone's excited. Why don't you come out of the gates?
Well, it's just also for the punt, man. You've got teams stop, start.
Yeah, it's
you haven't
shocking.
seen some teams properly. You haven't seen good teams match up against each other. It's just hard to find a winner. And this is a round that, to be honest, has some good games, but also a bit of shite as well.
Yes, it certainly does have a bit of shies, but it will be equaled out by a couple of decent ones, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's kick us off with Hawthorn $1.39, Sydney $3.02 on Thursday night.
Oh, they're on the drift, Sydney, and obviously injuries to Errol Goulden, their prime mover with a dislocated shoulder and missing, I think, the best part of 4 months of football is not a good start for the Swannies. And they're blowing out. They're on the nose on the punt, Robbie. $3.02. They're in about $2.80 when they first opened. And Heaney's under an injury cloud with a hamstring tightness from last week too. So, had those two guys been, locks, I think it'd be more like $2.50. So, I'm with the Hawks, but not by as much as the bookies think. I still think Sydney have a lot more depth than they did last year.
Yep.
Mills is back in. Obviously, big Charlie Curno's down there. Even a Marty party's flying. So the line's 17.5 points for Sydney, and I think it's probably just not enough for me to play with Sydney at an 18-point head start. So I'm with the Hawks. I think Jack Gunston goes without saying. He's low flying, mate. 4 goals per game.
Yeah.
The teams are moving the ball a lot quicker this year. Forwards are going to kick big bags, and we could even see 100 kick this year, mate. It's been
I would
widely
love to
spruiked
see it.
everywhere. So he's my lock. Chad Warner has a really good record at the MCG. He's had 21 plus in his last 8 matches at the G. He looks like he needs to go in. And then James Sicily, a guy who cost me many times last year on the multis. He was a don't truster. He's get shaked off those injury concerns, and he's a man on a mission, mate. In a massive win on the weekend, he had 26 in the back line.
Yeah.
It shows to me they're just running everything through them. So in a tighter game, you think he'd probably go 25 plus easy. So 20 plus at $1.42 looks like a very, very good price for him.
He's an absolute pest.
And then don't trust us. We price locked Mabiar Chol at Tab Touch on Thursday night to kick 2+.
Yeah.
The Hawks won by 62. He kicked 1 goal 3.
Yeah.
So
Flew a couple of times, but didn't kick straight.
Nah, it looks like a Rolls Royce, mate. Sometimes plays like a Holden Barina. So anyway, he's not my man. And Massimo D'Ambrosio's the other guy who throws in the bucket. He looks like $1 million when he has a footy, but he only gets a dozen.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
When he first moved from Essendon to Hawthorn, he was killing it, but he's probably evened out a bit, right?
He has, mate. And I just don't think he should be getting a game sometimes. Not enough impact for me, but anyway, they keep sticking with him for his lethal left foot that he hits 6 times a game. Sorry, Massimo.
Not happy.
Nah.
Not happy.
He's on the nose, mate. Don't put him in.
Love it. All right, we'll move on to Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs. This is an interesting game because both teams are paying $1.90. It's even Stevens. Of course, we saw what the Western Bulldogs did last week against GWS. It was a bloodbath, really. I mean, you worry about how bad Essendon were. GWS were worse, I reckon. And Adelaide, of course, very good against Collingwood. We weren't sure what we were going to see from this team because we hadn't heard much about them over the off-season. They obviously didn't play round 0. And I don't know. I just thought they might have been a bit scarred after that double bailout in the finals. You know, like they lost their first 2 finals after finishing top of the ladder. But they're looking good, man. And I've managed to find a few little stats for you that I think will be really handy for tipping this week. What did you think about Adelaide? Were you happy with their result?
Yeah, I think we read into Collingwood too much, thinking they're a really good side after that first win.
Yeah.
I actually think,
Are they a good side?
I think they're middle of the run, mate.
Middle of the run.
I mean, they beat the Saints, didn't they? First game.
Yeah.
I don't think the Saints are much chop. So seeing what the Bulldogs did last week, $1.90 seems pretty good value to me. But anyway, you got some crackers here, mate. And by the look of these odds on some of these, you could build a nice multi, couldn't you?
You could build a very nice multi. I haven't actually put them all in together yet and got a full amount. But Josh Worrell, he's recorded 26 plus in each of Adelaide's last 3 matches. You can get him at $1.96 for that. Riley Tilthorpe kicked 2 goals plus in Adelaide's last 4, $1.58. Seems overs for him, man. Aaron Norton, 2+ goals. And this is the stat that I really wanted to point out to you. 2+ goals in the Western Bulldogs' last 11 matches. You can get him for $1.42 on this.
Yeah, okay.
2+ goals in the last 11 matches.
I concede.
Wow.
All right, 15 love, Robbie.
Wow. You may not like the way he plays, but he gets results. I'm
Well,
just going
he
to say
does.
that.
Yeah, he has a few lean patches throughout the year, though. $7.54 for that multi if anyone playing at home. Just run the numbers for you, mate.
Love that. The other 2 legs in it. Bailey Dale, 20 plus in 41 of the Western Bulldogs' last 44 matches, $1.31. And Josh Frazier, 17 plus in each of the Bulldogs' last 5 matches at $1.31. So they're all good stats to keep in mind for your multis this week.
They are, and I reckon this is going to be an absolute shootout, mate. Big forwards galore, big thriller. He'll kick a few. Aaron Norton, no doubt, but I think those goal scorers in this game are the ones to play around with, mate.
Oh, yes. Richmond, 550, Gold Coast, 115. Thoughts?
Oh, Richmond almost pulled up the upset win last week, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They should have won. Like, there is no world in which they should not have won.
The world with Tom Lynch kicked straight. I mean, I'm not even going to get into the don't trust us. You know where I'm going with it, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, they almost pulled off a win. I can't see them knocking off the Gold Coast, even the fact that it's at the G. I'm happy to take the Gold Coast line at 34.5 points, to be honest.
Yeah, that's generous.
I think, Richmond, Carlton, I just don't think Carlton are any good at all.
What's that line paying?
$1.90, mate.
$1.90, okay.
34.5 points for the Gold Coast or more.
Oh.
Yes, please. Keen to take it. So I'm keen to go the multi in this game. I think Gold Coast are the team that pile on a big score. You've seen that the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You can just raffle those forwards. So Gold Coast at the line at 34.5. Leo fucking Lombard, man from last year. Sammy Lawler, the brawler. He's kicked 2 goals, no goals, 2 goals. So I think he'll hit the scoreboard. And then Petrarca anytime. Well, I'll just put it in the book.
Yeah.
$4 for that one, mate.
Oh, lovely. I like that.
Yeah, a bit of juice in the Gold Coast game.
Yep, big tick there. And you're not trusting Tom Lynch?
Nah, mate. How much are you getting paid?
Too much.
Any danger of just taking the game by the scruff of the neck and taking your opportunities as a 150 plus game, 200 plus game player?
It was annoying because he actually looked good around the ground. He was taking marks. He was
wasn't he?
leading. He was a target, but he just couldn't kick to save himself. It was shades of Richo back in the 90s.
It was, mate. They're giving away 50s too.
Travis Cloak back in the day. He got the yips.
He's got that. He's got a bit aggro on him, doesn't he, Tommy Lynch? You roll him up after he doesn't kick a goal. He's a big man.
He's an angry man.
But he will give away a 50, no doubt.
Oh, every day of the
Every
week.
So I wanted him to kick those goals and lead the way for those youngsters, and I think it would have done a lot for their confidence. So I think it is a big choke. Sorry.
Love it. Yeah, he's a definite don't trust him.
Next game, mate. The team you spoke about before, who really stunk it up on the weekend after a really good first up performance.
Yeah.
GWS Giants, $1.45, St Kilda, $2.67. Both teams shite. Talk us through it.
Hard to believe that the Gold Coast is such hot favourite. Oh, sorry, the GWS is such hot favourites after last week's game. But here we are. St Kilda aren't much better. Once again, got a few betting stats here for you. GWS last 4 home games have gone over the total match points line, which is $184.5 this week. So that's paying $1.46. So if it's a free-flowing game with lots of scoring, I like it. Jack Higgins has had 2+ goals in all 4 of St Kilda's last 5 away matches. $1.88, I like that. Rowan Marshall, this is interesting. He's recorded 15+ in St Kilda's last 32 Saturday games, paying $2.22, but you do have to question it a little bit with Tom De Koning getting so much of that main ruck work. It's an absolute crime that Rowan Marshall is a secondary ruckman at the moment. He's not a forward, and with full respect, he's not a forward. He's a number 1 ruck. Shouldn't be up there.
Mate. They should have let him go to Geelong.
Yes.
Who have Geelong got? No one.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are they playing through there? Blitzarves and other De Koning, eh?
Yes, other De Koning. Yeah, exactly. So they
the
would have got a
fullback?
good draft pick for him. They could have replenished the stocks.
I just reckon it's greedy.
Silly.
Greedy. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be confidently backing him at 15+, but that multi is paying an incredible $16.72.
$16.72, really.
Yeah, that's juicy, mate.
Adding in there, Max Grozewski.
Yeah, Grozewski.
2+ in his last 4 games at NG, so he's $2.25 for 2+.
Yeah.
And Lockie Whitfield, Mr. Reliable, All-Australian last year, 25+ in GWS's last 10 games. He's paying $1.22. How much did you say that multi was?
$16.72 for those playing at home.
Wow.
It's a 5-legger, and you can't argue with the stats, mate. The receipts are there.
The stats.
Maybe sans Rowan Marshall.
He could do it, though. All it takes is an injury, and I don't want to wish that on anyone, but it just takes a little bit of an injury or a little bit of work in the half-forward line, and he could get it done.
He could. Don't trust has got to be in the side, doesn't it? Who is he? Is he playing forward? Is he playing the midfield? He chooses where he goes, according to Ross Lyon. That doesn't make it easy for the punt, does it?
Chose the bench, did he? And then at the death?
Chose to drag himself. He was deep forward. I mean, he kicked 3.
Yeah,
but
he did.
I mean, he putting him in for goals? He putting him in for possessions? I don't know.
It's
almost
a big
like
question. Petrarca. Yeah.
You take him for 30, you take him for 3. So anyway.
Well, I think Petrarca just said job done after quarter time, didn't he? He said, I've kicked my 3. I thought he was on for 8, but he just quite enough.
He had 19, I think. Posies in the end, kicked a few, but yeah, no, that's going to be an interesting game. I think GWS need to bounce back, and the Saints are desperate for a win.
Your boys Freo $1.27 versus Melbourne $3.75. I had Paddy Voss in the studio, sat in the seat that you were at right now there, Nick.
Can you
He's a
ask,
funny guy.
you asking to give me my $20 back for him not scoring a goal on the weekend?
Well, I did say to him that goal should have been paid,
looked
and
like
he agreed. He wasn't happy.
No, it was a big watch, mate. I missed out with Voss any time, so I was pretty spewing.
Yeah.
In a big multi across the weekend, but I think if you're reading into Melbourne's first game, you're thinking they're somewhat of a chance here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not $5. Freo at home. Yeah, they went away. Freo, tough road trip. I think they're going to bounce back here in a big, big way.
I think we need more data on Melbourne.
I think we do too, yeah.
Yeah.
Plucky.
Yeah, plucky, but it could just be a one-off.
This is the hardest road trip in footy for those East Coast teams.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
young team coming over here, Freo $1.27, I think is value, and the line's pretty generous at 22.5. So, again, I'm going to be a huge Freo lineman here. Melbourne's lost each of its last 7 away matches. So, not good on the road.
Ooh.
Patrick Voss, your man, the Prancing Ponies, had a big record against teams where they've gone in as a favourite Freo. He's kicked 3 in his last 5 when Freo have been short. And Jai Amos, for some reason, he just loves dining out on the Ds as well, mate. 3+ in his last 4 matches against the Ds. So he's due for a big one too.
I love it. I love it. Hey, do you want to hear, let me just bring it up. Do you want to hear our segment opener for Paddy Voss? It's pretty good.
100%.
You want to hear it?
Yeah,
All right.
tee it up.
Let me play it for you.
Look at the brutish behaviour of Fox. Gone nuts! Throwing fisties, chesties, armies. Look at him! Told he's affectionately known as the Prancing Pony. I'm Patrick Voss, and I've got a big chest. He's running over the train line! He's our Prancing Pony.
Good's that?
And I've got a big chest. What's that?
Shout out to our audio team. I didn't make that.
He would have loved that, Bossy, wouldn't he?
He did. He loved it.
He's a big man, isn't he?
He's a big boy. Yeah, when he sat there, you're a fairly tall dude yourself. What are you, 6'2", 3?
Nah, on a good day, yeah.
Yeah, he was towering above you, man.
Yeah, he's a big boy, 6'4"-ish. I mean, we don't need to talk about him too much because you'd be getting a bit jealous after he left the Dons on.
I told him about
for
that.
A pack of crackers.
Yeah, I told him about that today, and he said, look, it was a bit of my fault as well. I probably wasn't the most professional. AKA, he was out on the juice, I reckon.
Yeah, big bossy.
Getting on the piss.
Too much time in the gym. Same game multi in this game, quickly, because I love the Freo one out there. Big Dick Tracy, 3+.
Lovely.
Van Royen, who came off a big game last week, didn't he? 6.
Yeah.
Any time for him. Caleb Sarong, 25. Geordie Clark, 20. I'm putting him in again. Freo head-to-head, 375.
Love that.
It looks a nice little hitting zone there, $3 to $4. And yeah, the big watch is on Brayshaw, mate. Didn't spend the usual minutes in the midfield. They're kind of mixing rotations between Murphy, Reid, Shai Bolton, and others through there. So I don't know if he's slightly injured, potentially. I cannot see why you'd not have your co-captain at the coalface when the game's into balance. So I'm not putting him in there for 25 plus at the moment. My mate Triggers will tell you to put him in there for any time because, as you know, he texts me every time he scores a goal, and he did again on the weekend. So I lost. He probably backed him for the goal, but can't have him, mate. Sorry.
Is there a correlation between beard and low possessions?
Well, that's the stat this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a record low game for him. As I said, I think 5 years since he's had 13 or 14 posies. But you just wanted him there with Sarong, who was doing a lot of that heavy lifting in the last quarter, wasn't he?
So would you say hold fire until Brayshaw shaves and then get on him in a big way?
Yeah, I'd say so. Until he gets a Gillette sponsorship, I'd probably stay clear of him.
Hopefully it's covered.
I think the missus, he was saying, was keen for him to shave it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and mate, as you know, that's always the deciding factor, isn't it?
pretty much.
You must love your moat.
Well,
Your missus.
Dad, Sarah's dad, bless him, has a moustache, so don't know if that's weird or not, but she's put up with it for long enough, so I'm sure, I'll put it this way, Freo in the premiership this year, I'll shave it.
I actually don't know you without a moat.
Really?
I don't think I've ever met you without one. I could be wrong there.
okay.
Maybe I'm just used to it now.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I was probably taking it a bit more seriously prior to the moustache, but I'm rolling with it, mate.
I think it gives you the full management look, personally.
Yeah,
but
okay, thanks, mate.
Yeah, that's good.
I appreciate it. Thanks, pal.
It's good, no worries. All right, we'll move on to Port Adelaide, $1.38, Essendon, 305. Of course, the Bombers are my team. It was a painful watch on Friday night, the Zach Merritt Cup. Hawthorn just too good. Zach Merritt, I thought, was excellent. He was the best player on the ground, so it just goes to show, doesn't matter what sort of pressure you put him under, he's always going to perform. So well done, Zachar. I appreciated that. But
Yeah, me too.
Mitch's men, they were
Yeah.
good.
Didn't have enough go with him, did he?
He just didn't. I think we just seriously lack superstars, and that's a problem. Like most teams, you would look at their list and go, there's 2 players at least that sit in the top 50 of the game. Essendon, you got 1. You got Zach. And then you probably don't have anyone else in the top 100, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's your talent, but it's your drafting that's cost you, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we've
You had
gone
some
to
draft picks.
Yeah, I know, but they haven't worked out.
What's Perkins doing?
Just nothing.
I mean, there's a lot of those top 10 draft picks that just haven't come on. I love Andy McGrath, but I'd hoped he'd be a midfield superstar. He's now a halfback flanker.
Halfback flanker. He's the skipper, though. He's the skipper.
Yeah.
He's solid. He's a solid 20 possession man every game.
What
but
was he? Pick 3?
Pick 1.
Pick 1. I mean,
Yeah.
you need more than 20 possessions and to be a banker in the same game as for a pick 1.
I remember until the very last minute, Hugh McCluggage was number 1 pick in that draft, and everybody was saying, we're taking Hugh. The Bombers are on the McCluggage train. You know, check him in, bag him up, put him in the back of the plane, and, you know, the ground staff will take care of the McCluggage. But it didn't happen in the end. And we took Andy McGrath. It was a bit of a surprise, the Canadian, and here we are.
Well, yeah. I mean, not to be too harsh on Andy McGrath. He said he's done some good things. But, mate, I think you just try to stock up on 100 different midfielders. And probably in the end, they all haven't come on at the same time. and there hasn't been a lot of development from those guys. So I wish
Yeah,
he'd
it's
probably
a pity.
gone a bit more through the spine. A few more reads, Zach Reed, I think the guy you drafted and a key position player. They don't grow on trees. West Coast have stacked them.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the formula, mate, because at the end of the day, you can only have so many mids going through.
And you can always get more. That's the thing. But
100%.
you can't get the big boys. You're right.
Stop sending the mids to half back too, mate.
I don't know if this is true. I've got a few stats for this game. Essendon apparently has lost 14 on the trot now.
Really?
I think back through. I'm not sure
Not
if
just
that's...
against Port Adelaide, but in general?
I think in general. I don't think we won much in the second half of the year. So if you want to fact check that, I'd be appreciative.
Yeah, I can have
So Port Adelaide head-to-head $1.39. It's hard to go past that. Essendon has lost the first quarter in each of its last 10 home and away matches. $1.57. Usually I'd like to be on that, but Essendon were a pretty fast starter against Hawthorn, and Port Adelaide were pretty average across the board on the weekend. So maybe you could buck that trend and take Essendon there. Yeah.
I'd be taking Port at home in the first quarter.
Interesting.
I think they get off to a good start. I mean, if Essendon are going to be in the game, they're going to have to start well. But I don't think Port are any good either, though. I'll be honest, mate. Like I wouldn't be taking Port at $1.38 in my head-to-head multis whatsoever.
It's hard, isn't it? And Port aren't a big possession team. Like, you've got the obvious two, Butters and Rosie. But when I had a look at players that are worth actually just sort of having a squiz at for possessions, Willem Drew was the one that came up. He's got 20 plus in 4 of his last 5, so he's paying $1.60. And my boy, Andy McGrath, the number 1 draft pick, the king... The guy who's still going to develop into a superstar, don't you worry. Mark my words, 20 plus in his last 5 games at $1.60.
Wow.
And he's consistent on that. So one thing I will say is he gets that everywhere.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. He's a good banker. This is not the really game winner that we were hot for, I would imagine. So $5.60 for that multi, Robbie, by the way. Pretty juicy, man. I'm just going to keep running the numbers for you as you work through.
Yeah, I like that. Finally, West Coast $2.50, North Melbourne $1.50. Mate, we're just going to scoot over this pretty quickly, eh? There's not much to talk about.
North are really good. I mean, they were up and about week 1, weren't they?
They actually have a very good midfield. They have drafted well. You look at what Essendon have done. It's taking a while for North, but it is pretty stacked when you have a look who they've got running through there. They've got UDL in there. UDL. Remember drinking a UDL back in the day?
Oh, dear, ever. 6 for $13 back in the day, Robbie.
Bloody oath. That's his name now.
Yeah,
and they're sticking
UDL.
with it.
Yeah.
But the guys through the midfield are great. Larky up the front kicking goals. I don't know. I think North, they're not going to be a top side, but they're going to be all right this year.
I got sucked into them last year. Remember, I was on the North train for a couple of weeks there.
You were.
Yeah, they had a couple of when they string it together. To your point, add Wardlaw and a few others in there. They've always been suspect down back. Obviously, they've got the recycle Fremantle halfback. I forget his name now.
Gus guy.
It'll come to me.
Gary.
The
big boy.
Yeah, so they've been a bit suspect and they leak a lot of goals, and that's been their issue. But if they win it out of the middle with those guys you spoke about before, they can do some damage. And I think they should be beating West Coast at $1.50. I think it's pretty generous.
I tend to agree. One thing I did see, each of the last 8 matches between these teams have been decided by under 15 points. If you want to get on a try bet for this, which is either team under 15, you can get $2.90. It's an interesting bet.
That is a good bet, actually. I don't mind that whatsoever, mate.
Well, in a game where there's probably not a lot to run with, I like it. I don't know. West Coast were all right over the weekend, though. I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, they were good in parts, but you wonder whether Gold Coast were just going through the motions a bit.
Yeah.
Griffin Logue was the guy I was talking about.
Griffin Logue, of course.
Yeah,
Guy, Gus,
Griff. Like, there's only one Griffin in the whole comp. Still didn't get it right.
Yeah. The Snake should kick a few, though.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Jake will go all right. He was good last week, wasn't he? Kicked a couple late, which made me sweat.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You with West Coast or you with North?
I'm undecided. I think I'm going to take West Coast because it's at home and they need to win one somewhere. So I think this might be the one.
Okay, mate. Yep.
It's a tough ask to come over to the West on a Sunday.
It is. I reckon Alistair Clarkson will pull one out the bag here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon they'll win.
I reckon he'll be in a bender. Hippie Club Saturday night. Oh, one out the bag. Sorry, I thought you said pull out the bag.
On the
Okay,
bag.
Yeah. Right, sorry, my bad. It's my hearing.
Yeah,
it's
it's
going.
Wayne Carey thinking of, not Clarkson, I think. Especially down the Crown. Anyway, we're moving along, mate.
We'll move it along. All right, we've got to get into the racing. Let's rip into this, mate, because you have a child to get home to. And you know what? I don't want to be the guy who's in trouble because you're not home in time. So I think what we're going to do, while I go back to my other screen, because we brought up the Paddy Voss opener before, going to play the horse trumpets.
Thank you, Robbie. And to be fair, if you were listening to that last segment, I was the guy who got you late from home one night about 3 a.m. in the morning crabbing. So you've got one on me, mate.
I still hear about that occasionally.
Yeah, you could keep me here a bit longer.
From you, from my wife.
I'm sure you do.
Hi,
Sorry,
Alana.
Alana. We love you out there. Racing preview. Well, this is a cracking day's racing on Saturday. I say that every week, but rarely do you get 5 Group 1s at one race meeting.
It's a big day.
And it happens at Rosehill.
Yeah, right.
So all eyes on the East Coast, to be honest, and that's where I'll be playing. So I'm just going to give you a Rosehill. Just stick with Rosehill, nowhere else, mate.
Love it.
Get the
Rose
on.
Hill special.
Get the blinkers on and focus at Rosehill. So anyway, mate, the best of the day.
That's me sniffing the roses. Not Alistair Clarkson at the hippie club. That's slanderous.
You're going to put the golden slipper on as well. Mate, Aliana in the Ranvet. She's back. Spruiked as a Caulfield Cup
Aliana.
futures bet last year. Had some issues with the feet. Didn't really like her, but she's been really, really good in her first couple. And she meets a really small field here where she shouldn't have too much trouble in transit. So $1.60, she's going to be a multi-anchor for many, and I think she's probably my best bet of the day. She's nice and short, but she starts in race 5, and all the other races come after that. So it's a good way to start off.
Yeah. Sydney, by the way, this is right.
Yes, mate.
So you know how they have like Mardi Gras?
Yep.
If Aliana went to that, what would she be called?
That is an interesting question.
Gayliana. Who's the dad in this? That's a terrible dad joke.
Nah, man, I loved it. It's not as bad as my Irish one with the outdoor furniture. Patio furniture I went with this morning at the start. I went with it at the all-staff meeting yesterday. It was a bit of a tough crowd.
Jeez.
We could hear the crickets. Anyway, second best, Observer. I love this horse, mate. Don't we? We've backed it a number of times. $2.60 at the Rosehill Guineas. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Observer. Get on. George Ryder Stakes, Autumn Glow will remain unbeaten on the weekend at $1.30. And then, last but not least, mate, the slipper. Just for those playing at home, again, don't know much about racing. The New South Wales horses have had the moz on the Victorian horses travelling up for this race in recent years. However, Robbie, there was a Blue Diamond winner in Streisand, which we talked about a few weekends ago with all the AFL players involved.
Shout
Michael
out Dusty and Gardner.
all the boys.
Oos.
I think they'll be in the mounting yard on the weekend because I think she'll be winning. And I think Streisand is a great bet. And I think at $8.50 and $2.80 in the slipper, I'm going to be backing it each way. And I'm also backing a horse called Warwoven at $9 and $2.80 for Bjorn Baker at the same price. So they're the two I like in the slipper. And the multi, which everyone loves, mate. Just get to the multi, Ristovic, probably what most people are saying. is Observer to win, into Autumn Glow to win, into Warwoven to place in the golden slipper at $9.73.
Sounds like cash to me.
Does, mate. $10. Nice little multi there. So follow those three. Observer to win, Autumn Glow to win, Warwoven to place in the slipper.
Well done. I love that. I love that from
Short
you.
and sweet, wasn't it?
Yeah. Short and sweet, but a real winner there. I think I'm going to be getting on that. I wonder what the Jump Out King would say about that multi. I'm just interested. I don't think the Jump Out King takes multis.
Nah, he's a smart punter, that's why.
Smart punter.
Yeah, he just takes the one and banks the cash. But we'll probably post it up, Robbie, again. I know people struggle to find these ones, so I'm going to post it up on my BetLoot profile, which is Ristovic at Tab Touch, if you guys are keen to get along.
Lovely.
So one-click load rather than trying to find all these yourself.
Beautiful. All right.
All right, here we go, Robbie.
All right. We're going to say goodbye on this today, Nick. The
Not to the
100 to 1,000 challenge. We're not saying goodbye to any cash here this week. So I've got $208 to play with after your magnificent win last week. Very well done once again.
Thanks, mate.
And I am going to run with a 2-leg multi in the footy for this.
Wow.
Are we allowed to do this?
We are, and it's a player props as well, I believe.
Player props. Is this within the rules to go players?
Mate, it's your round. You do. If you want to play with some player props, absolutely up to you, big fella.
You've messed with me a little bit because I was thinking, do I take the Gold Coast line at $1.90? That gets us the $2 essentially.
That's what you were kind of doing last year.
I know.
I mean, this is 2026.
How'd I go last year, though?
Yeah.
So maybe we need to change it
You're
up.
up and down like a roller coaster, mate.
It's true.
just go. You got to lock it in, mate. If
All
you
right.
go away from it now and it wins, you'll be spewing. So
I agree.
back yourself.
I agree. All right. So I'm going to take a guy I told you a fact about earlier. In the last 11 games he has played for the Western Bulldogs, he's kicked 2+ goals.
Against the Western Bullies. Yep.
No, for the Western Bulldogs.
Oh, four. Oh,
Yeah.
you're going with the latter part of the multi. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought I'd start here first. So
Yeah.
Aaron Norton, 2 goals in each of his last 11 games, paying $1.42. It's got to go in there. He's going to continue the trend. And into Andy McGrath, my boy, that's been established today in the pod. He's usually a lock for 20+. So I'm going to take him 19+, $1.41. That gets me $2 on the nose, and we're going to have $400 in the account after this round.
Oh, I like 416 to be precise, and I like
416.
it, Robbie. I like it. So if we just project, and we won't get too far ahead of ourselves, mate. If we get through this week at 416, we double up again.
832.
Suddenly we're sitting at 832, and
Oh.
we can sniff it. The dogs.
Doesn't it smell good?
Western Bulldogs. We can sniff it. So, Godspeed to you, mate. $1.41. Andy McGrath, 19+. Norton, 2+ goals at $1.42 away from home there. Obviously, the doggies as short price favourites against Adelaide. Oh, no, they're evens. So, yep.
Even Stevens.
Yeah, even Stevens. So, hopefully you will bob up. Big Nordo. And that's pretty much us it. And we haven't been doing the responsible wagering messaging at the end, Robbie.
It's because we're not responsible.
I know, we're very irresponsible, but we probably should.
Go
just
on,
give it
mate,
a quick
do it.
shout, mate. Obviously, think of what you could be gambling with. Make sure you gamble responsibly out there. And if you do need some help, there's obviously the Gamblers Helpline that you can get in touch with, Robbie, which we don't need to because we just keep winning.
That's right. And with that, see you later. That's the pod.